What we have here is an etching entitled Extracting the Quintessence. Now, the figure at the top here is, as is appropriate for today, this is clearly Michelangelo. And we're going to see that in his day, he was seen as being the consummate, I think today we might say, synthesizer of all the arts, moving freely from one to another and excelling at all of them. Everything except, actually, music. He did not have musical training and claimed to have no ear for music. I have reason to be mildly suspicious of that, but I know he did not have musical training. But everything else, he ruled the world. He identified himself as a sculptor. He got roped into painting. The Pope called him to Rome and said, I want you to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling. And he said, I'm not a painter, I am a sculptor. And the Pope said, I want you to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling. And Michelangelo said, I won't do it, I am a sculptor. And the Pope said, I will throw you in prison. And Michelangelo said, I will paint your ceiling. So there we go with that. Later in life, it was architecture, extraordinary architecture, draftsmen. If you count the incomplete ones, 327 poems. The last decade of his life, he was considered to be the greatest living Italian poet and a worthy successor to Dante. He was seen as somebody able to, he, after all, used marble like everybody else, the same sculptor's tools as everybody else. He had the same language in terms of visual art history and spoken language and all that kind of thing. All this can be applied exactly equally to Bach, right? He had everything everybody else had. He didn't have any secret tools or anything like that. He just did it far better than anybody else could even, punchline, imagine doing it. Skill almost beyond belief, but fantasia truly beyond belief. So David Avery has done this etching called Extracting the Quintessence. I think in order to have the personality to do these tiny involved things, you must have to be intensely neurotic and maybe sociopathic as well. But the fact of the matter is, I have sat and talked with him. He's a lovely person. He's just as witty as he can be. Thank you so much. And every single one of these etchings, and I can send you his website online, has other associations, either to music or to other works of visual art or to literature or to something else. So what we have here is basically a crucible, and up here is Michelangelo, whose wings are made from patched together pieces of scrap lumber and so forth, and he's looking fairly scrofulous. His sword is all nicked up, and he is going to extract the essences from step ladders, old railroad ties, there's a grocery shopping cart, and so forth, and this all goes in. And what comes out down here is either, and I stopped myself from asking him, David, is this liquid gold or is this pure fire that's down here? But artists don't like to answer questions like that, so it's one or the other. And since we are meeting at St. George's, and I am going to be departing hence, this is probably the most unusual depiction of St. George and the dragon you'll ever see. Again, notice its size. St. George himself is a barely visible tyke holding a lance about the size of half a toothpick. He is riding on the back of a garden snail, and he is charging towards what is supposed to be the dragon, who has just hatched from his egg and is looking frightened, confused, bewildered, and like he would like to climb back into the egg.